WYFF News 4 today.
Now, WYFF News 4 presents For the Record.
Welcome to For the Record. I'm Aaron Baker, in for Nigel today. WYFF News 4 is committed to bringing you important issues that are affecting our community, and today we're previewing the U.S. House District 3 election in South Carolina. That district covers parts of Abbeville, Anderson, Edgefield, Greenville, Greenwood, Lawrence, McCormick, Newberry, Oconee, Pickens, and Saluda counties. All three candidates are joining us today: Alliance Party candidate Mike Biedenbaugh, Democrat Brian Best, and Republican Sherry Biggs. Now, for fairness, we're speaking with the candidates in alphabetical order, and we're asking the same questions of each of those candidates as well. So that brings us to our first candidate, Mike Biedenbaugh. Mike, thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it. I want to talk about you first and your background first. You were born in Prosperity, South Carolina, so Newberry County, from the district.
That's
You're
right.
a business owner. You served in the U.S. Navy. How have you been involved in the district to date, and what are some of your accomplishments?
Well, I've been involved just as a citizen. You know, when I grew up in Newberry County, and the district, Newberry County just came into the district since 2020. It was in District 5 for all my life. And I was so happy to see that because I worked so hard in this district, in Abbeville and in Pickens County, as I ran Preservation South Carolina, because I was dedicated to place. I was dedicated to placemaking and making sure our historic fabric was kept. And I take that as a step further in why I'm running for office, because I think the most important place is our political society and how our government needs to run and work for the people in a more representative manner.
And you know, District 3, as we just said, encompasses quite a few counties, and those can be different.
List.
Long list. So
yeah.
Southern Greenville County, perhaps a little bit more urban, maybe different than Oconee or Pickens County. What's the biggest issue you feel needs to be addressed in District 3?
Well, I think the big thing, running for the federal government, it's all about how the federal system interacts with the state system. So I just finished, and it just got published last week, Reviving Our Republic, 95 Theses for the Future of America. And that dives into the relationship of the federal government with the state government and how we really need to reset that, because our system is broken and flawed in how we represent ourselves. And so what I want to bring to the district is that true conservative constitutionalism, and absolutely get rid of, we have to install term limits and get the money out of politics to where people who are representing us are not able to buy stocks and trade stocks and build wealth out of their what should be service. So I pledge myself only 2 terms. Everybody should be pledging that. If they sit there and say they want term limits, but they never place it on themselves, I'm going to place it on myself. And being an independent, and being up there for 4 years, some people have asked, well, it's only 4 years, what can you do? Well, nobody asked me that when I went in the Navy. I was in the Navy 4 years, and I served honorably. I will serve honorably in the House. And being an independent, I'll be able to stand up there and create a fulcrum caucus so that just a handful of people, because it's so divided, I am confident we'll be able to create a fulcrum caucus of up to 10 people that nothing will go through unless they put in House rules to institute term limits and limit funding from the stock market to influence our representatives.
I want to touch back on those 40 policy proposals, the 95 Theses for the Future of America, in just a second. You talked about term limits.
Yes.
Let's talk about the beginning, though. You know, this is a unique race, and that Representative Duncan is leaving Congress. So whoever wins this, be it you or one of your challengers, would be a newcomer to Congress. How do you get things done as a freshman in Congress?
I think that will be a strength, because I won't be bound by the obligatory ties that the big centralized party apparatus in Washington will push onto me, that they will the other 2 candidates. There will be debts to pay. You don't spend that much type of money, up to $700,000 on one of their accounts, to get into that office without knowing you're paying to play. And that will not be the case for me. So I will stand up there and truly represent the district and build coalitions within the House to where we can say these are the things we have to get done. And I think between that and between being one of the only independents, I will help inspire other independents and other folks to say, wow, independents can make something happen, and then bring those into the House. And it's for the long term.
Let's talk a little bit about those 40, and these are on your website as well.
Yes.
40 policy proposals. Your book is 95 Theses for the Future of America, also on the website. You talk about a lot of state issues, a lot of federal issues. One of those is mandatory military for those 18 when people turn 18. That's a piece of it as well. You talk about some federal things like the budget. You talk about, as you said, campaign finance as well. What is the most important federal issue you feel you would tackle in Congress on day one?
Well, you mentioned about the 18 military service. That's a long-term goal-making thing. There's no way that could be done. That's about starting a national conversation on what it means to be civically engaged, and I think our young people need to be more civically engaged out of high school. But that's a long-term conversation. The most pressing thing is the issue of the confluence of the corporatocracy that's in our nation and merging with the political action. For a perfect example, our hospitals and our medical service. So the corporatization of our medical system, in 2022, 71,000 doctors left the profession, while only 21,000 new doctors are coming out of medical school. Why is that? Because now only 16% of doctors are independent doctors. 40 years ago, 95%. Why? Because the corporate power of coming in and buying up doctors' practices, and a perfect example is right here in Prisma. Prisma received over $400 million from Hawk money. And I don't know if it was a coincidence that they then bought another hospital in Eastern Tennessee for $300-something million. And not one new building has been built to help service the people for their medical needs in Greenville County since 2007. So that's the type of thing that is really important, and that goes into media and everything. We have to empower localization like it used to be when America was great on a local level back into the local communities, so we can have the sovereignty of ourselves to fund what we need and have the services we need that betters our communities.
All right, Mike Biedenbaugh, Alliance Party candidate running for U.S. House District 3. We appreciate your time today. Thank you so much. Straight ahead, we'll speak with Democrat Brian Best and later Republican Sherry Biggs as we continue to preview the race for U.S. House District 3 in South Carolina.